Welcome to Intuitive Moon Tarot. For those of you that are new, my name is Jen and I am an intuitive reader. I do have another weekly you versus them pick a card reading for you today. Over here on the left we have deck A, and over here on the right we have deck B. So you do want to go where you're very first intuitively drawn. You don't want to spend too much time on this. It can be helpful if you close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, bring your person of interest to the front of your mind, and ask of the universe and your spirit guides to please provide you with some insight into this connection. Okay, for those of you that need more time, go ahead and pause the video. For the rest of you, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, I know you're really eager to hear your reading, so I promise to keep this short and sweet, but there are a few things that I do need to go over before we get started. First of all, I need to remind everybody that these are general readings. I do offer personal readings, so if you need something that is specific to you and your situation, you can order a personal reading from me. All the pricing information, as well as an email contact, will be listed below in the description box. For the rest of you, I am happy to be here and share my gift with you and give of myself freely, but please keep in mind I cannot control what messages the universe gives to me or who they're meant for. So please just take what feels good to you in your soul, what resonates with your story, and what's helpful to you, and leave the rest for someone else. We don't want to try to force these readings to fit our story, as that's not going to be helpful to anybody. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for deck A, I have a bonus surrender card that I've added. This is something new that I'm doing. It's just kind of to give us some general energy and advice for the reading as a whole. And your surrender card is Surrender Your Fear of Intimacy. So that escalated quickly. It says you are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. This, of course, could be for yourself or for your person of interest. You'll know which way that resonates with you. We do have 3 cards for you and 3 cards for your person of interest. You don't have to follow my storyline, so if you're resonating with the opposite side, that's okay. Just go with whatever makes sense. So for our first party, we have the 5 of Pentacles, followed by the 2 of Pentacles. Let's move this out of the way. Followed by the Justice card. Interesting. And for our second party, we have a Judgment card, followed by the Page of Cups, followed by the 9 of Swords. So give me just a minute to look over this and see what I'm getting. Okay, so for this first party, whether this is you or your person of interest, of course, when we talk about the 5 of Pentacles, we're talking about being left out in the cold, feeling rejected or abandoned or left out. It can also talk about being like poverty-stricken, of course, when we're talking about Pentacles, Earth energy here. But what I'm feeling here is somebody was feeling, there's juggling with the 2 of Pentacles. So somebody was juggling either, you know, their career with their relationship or their social life, or they could even have been juggling 2 people. But for whatever reason, this party over here, sorry guys, I'm just listening. Bear with me. Yeah, I just feel like somebody felt left out in the cold due to an imbalance. There was a juggling act going on here, and it may have even been like How much of myself can I emotionally commit to a relationship or to another person? It could even just be trying to balance out emotions and not really fully knowing how they felt even, you know? This is just kind of, when I see someone like walking on their tippy toes here, it's kind of like tiptoeing around the truth or their personal truth. I just keep hearing truth. So there was tiptoeing around the truth. This could have been about money. This could have been about their personal truth, their true feelings. There was definitely some kind of juggling where this person was just trying to stay up on their toes, right? That's what I just keep seeing. Moving into the Justice card, it's like justice will be served here in this situation for this person. I do have a strong message here about karma and about allowing things to play out the way that they're supposed to. But again, it's just kind of like a rocky ground here. So I feel like somebody was left out. Somebody was hurt in this situation between you two, for those of you that were already engaging in a relationship or are inquiring about an ex. I can kind of look at this from a new love perspective as well, for those of you that might be in something new and you have a different storyline. And in that case, there may be somebody that, you know, in the past previously had been hurt and felt left out in the cold, felt abandoned, or like their the emotion that they put into something was rejected or wasn't reciprocated, and now they're kind of juggling with their feelings and they're trying to find, you know, what's fair, how to balance this out so that they can have something healthy in the future, and they're moving to a healthier direction. So with this being general, there's a lot of storylines and I want to help as many of you as possible, but please bear with me. I typically get a main storyline and try to stick with that so it doesn't get too all over the place. The Judgment card, this a lot of time talks about, you know, absolution, inner calling, reconciliation. This is a beautiful card, but it's like calling you back. And then we see the Page of Cups, which can kind of talk about intuitive feelings or messages, or, you know, even new creative energy. Sometimes the Page of Cups can be messengers, but with my relationship with my deck and my own intuitive sense from this card, what I'm getting and what I'm feeling is this is somebody that's kind of, they're reflecting back. They're reflecting back. They're trying to find some inner peace. I almost feel like somebody feels like they're being, like in their quiet time, in their alone time, when all the busyness dies down, like this is keeping them up at night. This is something they think about a lot. This is something that sorry, you guys. I almost see like an isolation here, like somebody has isolated themselves, but that's not really what they truly wanted. So I don't know if this is because there was some hurt here or there was some juggling, but I'm getting this story that somebody here just kind of isolated themselves, you know, restricted access to themselves. And I feel like it's like when I see this red here, this red dress, I feel like it's like this person was so passionate about this, but for some reason now they're hiding back here, they're restricted, they're unavailable, and I feel like it had something to do with this other person juggling and not really knowing exactly what they wanted. Or the other person just feeling like they were being left out. They just weren't feeling like they were the center of this other person's world, or that they were as important. I think somebody feels cut out. They feel like somebody was juggling either two people or their career or their hobbies or their emotions, and they just were too all over the place to fully commit to something. And so this other person, even though they felt really passionate, they're kind of being kept up about this because they really genuinely cared about this person, possibly loved this person. And I feel like there's some like reflecting going on, but this party over here almost feels like they're being called to, I don't know why it's so hard for me to articulate what I am feeling right now, but I'm just kind of getting an overwhelming sense of like feeling isolated, feeling alone, following your intuition, but feeling called back to something. I don't know if this is being called back to yourself, saying, hey, stay strong. You know, justice is going to be served here. This other party, for leaving you out in the cold, for juggling with your emotions or not really knowing where they stood or not making things clear and confident and safe for you, like they are going to face their own justice. They're going to have their own type of karma, and like this is not something for you to stay up and worry about. I just feel like somebody here was following their intuition and it was just strong, right? Because this to me, what I'm seeing here is like in this place, when they're alone, when it's quiet, when things aren't busy, when they're being honest, when they're feeling their feelings, when they're really in their feelings, right? This person is being called. It's like this sometimes is reconciliation, but I'm not seeing it that way. I am seeing this as like called to their fate, called to their destiny, to find peace, to release this fear of intimacy. And that may be what was going on here. Like this person ended up pushing someone away or making somebody feel disconnected, and this obviously energy is fluid. So this could have already happened in the past. This could be something that's currently going on, or this could be something that's coming up, right? Maybe this energy is present and somebody's kind of feeling a little bit rejected or neglected or left out, or like the other person's just, their emotions aren't in balance and they don't really know where they stand. But this is a very clear message that in the future, justice will be served, and what you give is what you get. So whoever this person is, whether this is you or the other person, this is a reminder to surrender your fear of intimacy. I also see this person kind of like blocking themselves off, even though they are a passionate, beautiful person. The wings are out, ready to fly, but they're hiding back here. And I don't know if it's because this person is throwing them off or there's some kind of an emotional imbalance. But between these two people, I'm seeing an imbalance, being closed off, some anxieties and stress about passion between two people, somebody feeling not fully accepted or loved, or like they're getting their emotional needs met in a sense. And this overall issue stemming from a fear of intimacy. So this is a reminder, if you are in a relationship right now or a current situation where, you're feeling like this, or you're putting your partner or your person of interest in that place, from somebody kind of doing this, right? Just juggling and not out of balance. The universe is constantly in a state, and people are constantly in a state of seeking balance, of wanting to even things out. And as you can see, regardless, in the future, the scales will balance. Justice will be served. You will get what you give. And so if you're in a situation where you're feeling this way by your partner, this is a reminder to surrender your fear of intimacy. You are deserving of real, genuine, true love, and that does exist. And this is saying to compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So if you're putting yourself in unhealthy or toxic situations because maybe you fear honest, genuine, raw intimacy, or maybe you don't feel that you're deserving or that you're ready for that type of a love, this is a reminder that you most certainly are. And if you're in a current intimate relationship, or even if you're in something new that's just starting and is exciting, but you're kind of fearful and standoffish and, you're feeling passionate, but you're just ignoring that and turning your back and blocking yourself off, this is a reminder to follow your intuition. It's not going to lead you astray. If you feel energetically drawn to this person and you feel good about this person, and this is somebody that you think is genuinely good for you, and you feel like you're kind of being called and drawn, no matter what you do, when you're alone, you're being drawn back to this. Follow that and release those fears of intimacy and trust in yourself a little bit and trust in the fact that you're deserving of love. So this could go many different ways. Of course, if you need something that is specific to you and a little bit more, direct, then I would definitely recommend a personal reading for you. But as it stands, I'm seeing a few different things here. I am seeing somebody feeling left out from somebody juggling, and things are going to balance out and the scales are going to even out in the future. But this does seem a little bit rocky, whatever it is. And I see that it's rocky because there's an imbalance and there's juggling and there's somebody that's closing themselves off. So this is a reminder to come back, follow your creative energy, follow your intuition, go wherever you're being called. If you're being called to leave a situation and you're feeling like you don't have the intimacy that you want, this is either you're blocking yourself off and you need to take some personal responsibility, and you and your partner need to find a way to connect and surrender your fears of intimacy, and find trust in each other and be able to open up to each other. Intimacy is not just talking about sex, okay? Intimacy is talking about trust, compassion, open communication, honesty, being genuine with another person. So whether this is a situation you're in that you feel you're desiring a deeper connection with your current partner, one or both of you needs to surrender your fear of intimacy. Or if you're in a connection where it's unhealthy and you are very well aware that your needs for intimacy are not in alignment with this person and they're out of balance and it's just not going to happen with this particular person, maybe they're just not at the right place right now, this is, a message saying it's okay to release that, and it's okay to, let love in and do what's right for you, right? This is interesting. So I think I'm going to pull a healing oracle card as well, just to get a little bit more insight. I have pre-shuffled all of my decks off camera, but I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of additional shuffling for you. Yeah, somebody here I feel like is almost trying to ignore their passions, ignore their intuition. They're being drawn somewhere, whether it's closer to someone and it's freaking them out, because they're just feeling so passionate and it's overwhelming and they're just kind of blocking themselves off, maybe from past trauma or hurt or mistrust, or they're being drawn away from a situation because they know, that they've been left out in the cold and their passion's not being reciprocated, but they're just desperately holding on and not letting go. This is a reminder there's still fight in you, whether it's for this connection or to move forward and find love elsewhere. She has her sword right here. She is not trapped or helpless. The Nine of Swords typically just talks about being kept up at night, anxiety, stress. But with this deck and with these cards in combination, intuitively, I'm seeing somebody is being called in one direction, and this is a time when you need to be able to silence your mind, find a way to, even if you're not comfortable with meditating, just journal, find a way to really express yourself and quiet your mind and allow the messages, because there are messages that are trying to come through for you. This is a messenger card. You can clearly see that there are messages that are trying to get through. And this person, I feel like, has just kind of been closing themselves off to that. But you are being pulled to what's best for you. And justice is being served in a particular situation. Please, universe, please tell. What additional insight can you give me into this connection? Please, universe. Spirit guidance. provide me with additional information into this connection. What can you tell me? Retreat. Beautiful. I am going to read a little bit about that card for you from the book. Retreat is number 40. This is a good time to retreat into your safe place, a quiet time to gather your resources for what's to come. Work on making your body, mind, and soul as strong, as unencumbered as possible. This is the card that urges you to get your ducks in a row for the changes that lay ahead. Like we said, it's rocky, but justice is coming. Changes sometimes come fast and furious, even when they are longed for. It can take us unprepared. By drawing this card, you are advised to prepare for some changes coming your way soon. Alternatively, take this time to process the changes that you have recently gone through. So if there have been recent changes in your life, maybe there's been somebody new that's come in that kind of shook things up and you know, we're putting ourselves in this energy, or maybe you've been in a relationship again that hasn't been going so well. This, like I said, you've got to come here and you have to trust yourself. We have to be reconnected, mind, body, and soul, so that we can receive the messages that are going to lead us to what's fated for us. Because the universe is trying to talk to us. Your spirit guides are trying to talk to you. I'm hearing synchronicity. Some of you are seeing repetitive numbers like 333, 555, 1111. There are messages that are trying to come through for you. But if you're too busy and distracted and chaotic, or even kind of in a state of not wanting to deal with it, shutting yourself off, just not wanting to face it, or just keeping yourself super busy and out of balance with your emotions, whatever this is, you know, blocking out real, raw intimacy. This is saying come to a place, reconnect to yourself, follow your intuition. You already know what you're supposed to be doing here, and release any fear you have of real, true, genuine intimacy, because you are deserving of love. I hope that was helpful to you. If this resonates with you, please, like and comment on the video. Let me know my energy is appreciated, and you're welcome to share your stories or your experiences with me as well. I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me. I know I missed a week. I apologize. This is energy work. It's very sensitive, and so I only like to come to you when I have the energy to give you a heartfelt, genuine reading. So with all of that being said, I hope to see you guys back here next week. And if you haven't already and you feel inspired to do so, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Love and light. Okay, I know you're really eager to hear your reading, so I promise to keep this short and sweet, but there are a few things that I do need to go over before we get started. First of all, I need to remind everybody that these are general readings. I do offer personal readings, so if you need something that is specific to you and your situation, you can order a personal reading from me. All the pricing information, as well as an email contact, will be listed below in the description box. For the rest of you, I am happy to be here and share my gift with you and give of myself freely, but please keep in mind I cannot control what messages the universe gives to me or who they're meant for. So please just take what feels good to you in your soul, what resonates with your story, and what's helpful to you, and leave the rest for someone else. We don't want to try to force these readings to fit our story, as that's not going to be helpful to anybody. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, for deck B, we're going to start with our bonus surrender card, and this is a card that I have chosen just to kind of give us some overall energy and a kind of an overall message for the reading as a whole. So we have surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all that you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So that's a beautiful message that can be for you or your person of interest or both. You don't have to follow my storyline here, so I do have 3 cards for you and 3 cards for your person of interest, and I will pull an additional oracle card for you or clarifiers if I need them. So if you're resonating with the other side, that's okay. For our first person, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. Ooh. The Ace of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man in reverse. Interesting. And for our second party, we have the Star, which is a beautiful card, talking a lot about transformation. I love the Star. Combined with the Seven of Wands in reverse, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, sevens here, so I'm definitely seeing a little bit of a struggle. Give me a minute to look over this so I can see what I'm getting. Okay, so for our first person, whether this is you or your person of interest, the first thing I'm seeing, when we see the Page of Swords, sometimes that can talk about more of an all talk, no action type of energy. It can also be someone that's kind of over-promising or making commitments that they really don't have a solid plan to deliver on. So I do see the possibility here that there's somebody that has a lot of creative energy, doesn't necessarily have bad intentions, because I do see a desired here. The Ace of Pentacles is a beautiful, abundant new beginning, right? And we see the rose quartz down here, which is unconditional love, also self-love. So I do see somebody that wants to have a new beginning. Even if you're already in a committed relationship, they may want to, you know, start something that's new, that's more connected, or they may be making promises to you. This could be financial as well with the Pentacles here. It doesn't have to be, but there may be commitments or promises that you're making to someone or someone's making to you. But really, when we see the Hanged Man in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse on both sides here, it's like I don't think somebody really has a solid, feasible plan on how to make these things happen. This may be something that is desired, that is wanted, that is being promised, but there's something here holding this back. Yeah, I don't think somebody really knows how to move forward with this plan of action, if that makes sense. Here we're talking about the Star, which is beautiful, and it can talk about, you know, major transformation and renewal. It's a very balanced energy. We have her pouring her 2 cups. A lot of times when we see cups, we think of emotion, right? Cups of love, things of that extent. Whenever we talk about cups, it's a very emotional type of energy. We have her pouring both into the water and onto the earth. It's being grounded in your emotions, being stabilized, right? 1 foot here in the earth, 1 foot here in the water. This is also a reminder of what you put out into the universe, it brings back to you. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're manifesting, whatever you truly believe in, whatever you're pouring out, whatever emotions you're pouring out into the universe is listening to you, whether you recognize it or not, and it's bringing these things back to you or to your person of interest, basically to everybody. That's a message for everybody. The Seven of Wands, a lot of times when we see the Seven of Wands in the upright, as you can see here, it talks about feeling really defensive and guarded and, you know, kind of like you're going to battle. And we see a lot of fire energy here. A lot of people this is very passionate. When I'm seeing this card in reverse, sometimes it can be giving up. Sometimes it can be laying your defenses down, giving in even. But then we see the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, I don't find anything positive, and I'm sorry. From the Seven of Swords is typically talking about trying to get away with something, you know, being deceptive, thinking that you're getting away with something. But it can also be in the same sense like bearing your emotions, bearing your thoughts. And I think about this a lot because swords are very intellectual energy. And so when we see him bearing the swords here, it can be like keeping your thoughts to yourself. And this can be positive or negative in a sense, because when we see the star here, it can be like there's this balanced energy, there's this major transformation where this person is laying down their defenses in regards to hiding their thoughts and what they think and how they truly feel, because sometimes people do that. They just they're not very expressive of themselves. They hide away what they're really thinking. And it's not that they're trying to be deceptive, it's just that they're not comfortable with sharing their real, true thoughts on a matter. And this could be for the fear of being attacked. This can also be outside sources interfering with your connection with somebody. So there is a possibility here that somebody is, whether it's you or your person of interest, somebody is making big promises or has big ideas or desires, you know, this new beginning, this creative, new, beautiful beginning. But there's not really a solid plan in place. They don't really know how they're going to implement that. And that again, here we go, back to the surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all that you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So maybe somebody just has these really big ideas and is expecting these really abundant results, whether this be in a financial aspect or relationship, love aspect, a new relationship. They're just really attached to the results, but they don't really have a solid plan in place, and they're getting lost in they're just such a strong desire to make something happen. Instead of just letting things be what they need to be. That's what I'm getting. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's an energy here of just allowing things to be as they're supposed to be, and to recognize all the emotions that are being put out into the universe right now are being brought right back to you. The universe is listening to your thoughts and your emotions and what you're pouring out, even though you may feel that you're hiding your true thoughts and your true feelings, and you're getting away with that, and you're just laying low and not wanting to create any kind of battle or conflict. I think this is a little bit of a message here that the universe is listening, and they're going to bring back to you whatever it is. Like, you can't hide your thoughts and your feelings, or they can't hide their true thoughts and their true feelings and get away with that. Okay. Wow. And, you know, if there is a situation that you're in, that you're wanting to move forward, or you're wanting to reconcile, and you're just so caught up in that energy, and you're just pouring that out and pouring that out and pouring that out, and you're pouring your fears and your stress and your attachment to the results, and you're fighting against the universe, that is going to be an uphill battle that you absolutely cannot win. The best thing that you can do is lay your defenses down, understand that it's hearing your emotions, that, you know, that you're manifesting your own reality, but you have to, I just see a need here for balance and kind of a feasible plan, and like there's just so much emotion and promises to make things happen, or just such a strong desire to make things happen, or for a new beginning to happen here, whether this is with a new person that you are really, really interested in and you're just really attached to the results of how this is going to work out and making this work, or this is somebody that you're already connected to, or this is somebody that you're separated from and you just have this really strong desire to reconnect or reconcile, and you're just holding on so tightly to that, but you don't really have a plan on how it's going to work, and maybe you haven't really thought things through on how it's even going to be feasible, or what things need to be worked through. Or this is a reminder just to slow everything down, do what you can. You cannot control somebody else. You cannot control where they're at on their journey. Somebody can have incredible feelings for you, right? But be in a different place on their journey where they're just not ready for that. And the universe will align you with exactly what's meant for you in the right timing. So if you've done what you can to make something happen, or reconcile something, or make a connection to somebody, a new love interest, that you really want this to work, this isn't saying that that's not going to happen, but this is saying don't hold on so tightly to the desired outcome. Just appreciate the journey. Have a solid plan. Don't make promises that you can't keep, and be wary of other people over-promising. So if someone's just promising you the world, or it seems too good to be true, be wary of that, because sometimes their intentions are good, but they're just not really capable of delivering on those promises. They don't really have a solid plan. They don't really know how to move forward. They're a little bit stuck. They find themselves like, giving you all this, a lot of it, again, swords, like intellectual, like I think their thoughts are, this is what they really, really want. This is their desired outcome. They're making these promises or these commitments, or they're hopeful at the very least for this new, beautiful beginning, abundance, unconditional love, whatever this is, financial abundance. But really at the end of the day, doing that too fast and not having a solid plan in place, and just clinging to the results of this has just got to work because I'm so passionate about it, or whatever it is, that's not a grounded energy, and that leaves you just kind of like not able to deliver, whether that's you or them. If this is resonating with you, I think you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, here I think there is a need to really acknowledge feelings. Again, it's okay to lay down your defenses and not to want to battle, but you can't hide your true thoughts from the other person, because what you're thinking, you're creating. So whether this is you or them, somebody here has something that they're trying to get away with, something they're trying not to deal with, maybe even trying to sneak away with. And this is just talking about having a transformation, finding balance, being genuine, this could even be that somebody is trying to give up and just sneak away. And so the other person is excessively making commitments and promises they can't keep to try to hold on to this person. But this person's going through their own personal journey and transformation that's completely out of this other person's control. And all the over-delivering and over-promising to hold on to this other person is doing, and this clinging to the attachments to the results, is sabotaging it. Even though their intentions and their desires are to keep something together. It's all kind of coming together for me as that main storyline. I do see other things this could be here, but I do try to stick as much as I can to one storyline so it doesn't get too confusing. And if this isn't your story, join me again next week, or check out some of my other videos, as there might be something there for you. Or you can order a personal reading. But yeah, more or less, I see somebody here kind of going through a transformation, and maybe kind of just giving up on a situation and trying to sneak away from it instead of dealing with it. And the other person, I think, is just like feeling this and panicking. That's a definite possibility here. Or if this is a new love, this could be somebody who's new and really excited and just sees you as their star, as everything they ever wanted. And so they're over promising and under delivering, or promising things they don't really know how they're possibly going to deliver on, and it's going to put them in this hanged man energy. And let me get our healing oracle deck out here. This is saying, you or your person of interest, to be genuine and honest with your thoughts. Don't try to sneak away from things or get away with things. Express your feelings, even if you think it's going to bring conflict. Like, it's better to be upset by the truth than comforted by a lie, is kind of what I'm hearing here. I'm also hearing don't cling to the results. Don't overpromise things that you can't follow through on. And of course, energy is fluid, so this could have already happened. This could be something that's currently happening and just kind of developing, or this could be something that's coming in the future. So you guys will have to let me know. Feel free to share your stories with me as well in the comments. Please, universe. Please, tarot. Please provide me with additional insight into this connection. Ooh. This could also be somebody here just finding their balance, finding their peace, going through a transformation, and just not wanting any additional conflict, right? And just kind of burying. I mean, I do see that in a positive sense, like possibly you're just learning like when a reaction is not necessary, when it's better to just avoid the conflict and keep your inner peace. And through your own maturity and transformation, you're like you'd rather walk away quietly and bury your thoughts than start a war. And there could be numerous people involved. There could be outside sources involved in this connection, family members, friends, people, just kind of giving their 2 cents to possibility. Honoring your energy. Pretty sure that's what I was just saying. So let's read a little bit about this from the book. It's number 15. And this is also, we talked about, this can be giving up. This can be extremely overwhelmed because of the commitments that we made that we're not sure how we're going to follow through on, right? So it says here, we all have those days when we are declined to do anything. We try all sorts of mental tricks to talk ourselves into doing what we should be doing. Does this ever work? No. We end up feeling guilty, a very low vibration, for not getting anything done, which causes us to try twice as hard the next day, which causes us to get overwhelmed and exhausted, which then leads to becoming caught up in a vicious cycle. Your body has rhythms just as everything else on this earth does. Flowers, trees, plants, and the elements. The tides ebb and flow. The sun and moon rise and set. Animals hibernate and flowers grow, bloom, and go dormant. You need to listen to the inherent cycles within you. Rest when you need to, work when you need to. Try not to overthink the natural rhythms. Go easy on yourself and reserve judgment. You are your own harshest critic. That is beautiful. And again, we talked about finding emotional balance. The very first thing we talked about with this card was the balance. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the earth, pouring out the emotions into the water and onto the earth. What we're putting out into the universe, it's bringing back to us. We want to be in a peaceful place. We want to honor our energy. We don't want to push so hard that we end up over-promising and under-delivering and not able to create these beautiful, abundant new beginnings that we want, either within our current connection, a reconciliation, or a new love interest, or even if you're not looking at this from a love interest, this could be a financial venture as well. But this is a reminder to let go of the attachment to results. I feel like somebody here is pushing so hard for the results, and they're not honoring their energy, and they're just overexerting themselves and in a vicious cycle, like the honoring your energy card says here. So this is a reminder to release the attachments, let things go, do your very best, and then allow things to be as they're meant to be. I hope that this was helpful to you and that this resonated with you. If not, there's always additional readings on the channel. And most of them are not time restricted, and so they're just there for you whenever you feel inspired to watch them. You can go back through. There's lots of soulmate, twin flame readings, other pick a card readings, weekly readings such as this. So there's quite a few different options of cards and readings on there. So I wanted to thank all of you for being here with me today. I apologize I missed a week. This is energy work and it's very sensitive, and so if I'm not in a good place to provide you with a heartfelt and accurate reading, then I opt out of doing that. So I appreciate your patience with me. Please comment below if you liked this video, and if you feel inspired to do so, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you, love and light. See you next week.